Hello and welcome back to another haul for June. And this month I have Sci-Fi and BL and bookmarks. So anyway, let's get in with this haul. Start by going over the BL that I bought for the Pride readathons that I was doing this month. I didn't have enough from last month, so I got a bunch more. I have read everything in this pile. I will talk more about my thoughts when I do my June reading log. So for now, let's just go over everything that I picked up. So first up is 2345, which this one is about a guy who can see ghosts, who meets a ghost standing on a bridge, and every day at 2345 he relives his death. So he takes him in, and yeah, that's the first one. And then I had got Lullaby of the Dawn Volume 3. I really like the first two volumes, and so yeah, when I needed a fantasy romance to fulfill one of the prompts, this is the one I went for. Yeah, this is a fantasy BL series that's kind of set on an island where the sea is like attacking the place, and these people known as Carnegie go into the sea to fight it every night, but they get corrupted by the sea and they start to turn black, and then he can like kind of erase that. Yeah, it's a very good series. I would recommend this one. I didn't get any of these from Sci-Fi. I got them from either Amazon or Vinted because I needed to get them here to be able to read them. Next, I got Stigmata of Bites Volume 2. So this is the final volume of this detective series, where there's the guy can, if he comes across someone who has been murdered, then he can like have their like consciousness kind of enter him, and he relives the moments of like their death, and they kind of use that to try and help figure out who the murderer is. And then the detective guy, his ex-wife's been murdered, and they're now trying to figure out who killed her. So yeah, that's that one. And then this one is The Vampire and His Peasant Companions Volume 1. This is the same artist who did New York, New York. It's a different author. This is actually the same author as another one I have in this pile. But yeah, it's the artist who did New York, New York, and I really like the art in that series. So yeah, this one is about a vampire, and he lives in America, but he drinks the blood in like an abattoir. So he goes in there and he drinks the blood off the meat. But then but every time the sun comes up, he turns into a bat, and he accidentally gets frozen with the meat and shipped to Japan, where he wakes up in like the meat processing plant, and then ends up naked in a bathroom, and things go from there. Yeah. So that was that one. And then Love in the Palm of His Hands, Volume 1. This is about a actor he's a stage actor, but he wants to be a screen actor, and he meets this guy who's deaf, and he starts to learn sign language and other ways to communicate. Nice. And then we have Beautiful Things. This is also by the author of... This is the same author as Vampire's Peasant Companions, but different artists, because both Vampire's Peasant Companions and this one are based off light novels. I don't think they have English releases though. Yeah, this one is about an office worker who, after breaking up with his girlfriend, ends up cross-dressing in her clothes and going out to relieve stress, and where he comes across a co-worker, and that co-worker believes him to be a woman, and they start like a relationship with each other. But will that relationship survive them finding out the truth? And then I got No Love Zone. This is a manhwa, though it's full colour. It's an office romance about co-workers, and he tends to fall in love super easy with anyone with a pretty face, and his new, I think this is his new boss has a really pretty face, but he kind of works him to the bone. And then the last one is Cherry Blossoms After Winter. This is one I got to fulfill the prompt of a friend's recommendation. So I posted a story on Instagram asking for recommendations for that prompt, and the ones I got, after I removed the ones that I'd already read, I took all the rest of them and wrote them down on pieces of paper and then mixed them all together and picked one at random, and this is the one that ended up getting picked. So this one is another manhwa. This one's like high school romance between two childhood friends who were very close as children, but then he lost his parents and ended up getting adopted by the other guy's family, and he kind of didn't like that, and he said he doesn't want him to be his brother, and then they kind of haven't spoken in years, but they've recently, after joining high school, he's been bullied a lot, and the other guy starts helping him out. Yeah, that is all the BL I picked up for the readathons, and I will talk more about that in my reading log and what prompts were fulfilled and all that then. But yeah, now we're going to get on to the sci-fi. So just push this over here. Obviously, I have already read all them, but this arrived yesterday and I haven't read anything that is in this box yet. So, as usual, there's a bunch of bookmarks. These are the new ones. They have this like Bulbasaur-looking frog creature, a man in space with some goats, this like monstery dude with a big sword, a robot in the snow. It looks a bit like Astrobot. Then this dude looks like kind of like an old sort of video game with a golden light and a maze and like this person's face in the background. And then a dinosaur either breakdancing or skateboarding. And then this one of this just space. Yeah, they're all the new ones that I hadn't already got, and yeah, always nice to get bookmarks. Anyway, time to get into the box. First up is the only light novel from this haul, and that's My Happy Marriage Volume 8. This is a bunch of side stories continuing after Volume 7, some of them prequel, some of them sequel, some of them taking part throughout the previous 7 volumes. I haven't read past Volume 4 yet, although I have watched the anime, which kind of covers up to like Volume 6. Yeah, I will be reading this once I catch up. Whenever that will be. Put that over there. And next we're going to start with this pile. So here we have Spacewalking with You. This is a new shonen series released by Kodansha. This is actually the only Kodansha manga I have picked up this month. But this is like a high school story about 2 friends. So we have the blonde guy, and then we have the black-haired guy who is a transfer student who transfers into his class, and both of them are neurodivergent. And it's about them becoming friends and like getting to know each other, as well as being about space, because this guy has like a special interest in astronomy, and he kind of like goes along with him. But yeah, I really like the sound of this one and wanted to give it a try. I know it's like won some awards, I think. It won at the 17th Manga Taisho Grand Prize. Number 1 selection Kona Manga Gatsukoi Industry Poll. Yeah, this is one I was definitely interested in giving a read. And next we have Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me, Volume 3. I've been really enjoying this series. I really love the first 2 volumes. It's like quite angsty, but I'm quite enjoying that. I don't mind a bit of angst in my series. It kind of adds a bit of spice to it. Yeah, this is the one. It's like a fantasy magic school sort of setting with a girl who witnesses her boyfriend die, and then she gets sent back in time to when she was a child, and she relives her life up to the point where she entered the school and finds out that her boyfriend now no longer remembers her because she is the only one who has memories of that past life. So now she's trying to save him from meeting that same fate, of also trying to get him to fall in love with her again. It's a very great series. And next is a new Josei series from 7 Seas, and this is Gene Bride. This is like a sci-fi sort of series about a woman who's fed up of her being looked down upon in the workplace for being a woman, and she took place in this experiment as a teenager, I think, where your genetics choose your partner, and then the person who she was paired with back then comes and meets up with her, and that starts to change things, I think. I don't really know much about the series other than that. People say it's really good, and it has it's kind of a sci-fi. But yeah, the art style looks nice. And this plot sounded quite interesting. I think it's only 3 or 4 volumes long, so it's not a long series. But yeah, definitely excited when I saw this got licensed because I've heard really good things about it. Next, we have Wanted Me by Dress Up Lover. This is a BL about a guy who likes to cross-dress in the bedroom and his partner. I think he often dresses as a maid. Manabe Shiro has a stressful job managing a travel agency, and when the workday is done, he blows off steam by working as a maid at a cross-dressing cafe. The cafe is Shiro's safe place until one night his sardonic subordinate Nabatane Kuro comes in. Though the two might not get along at work, now that Kuro knows his secret, Shiro is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure Kuro keeps his mouth shut. Can this fraught relationship become something fulfilling for both men? So he works at a maid cafe, but a maid cafe where it's male maids. And yeah, his co-worker finds out. It's only a one-shot, that one. This one's not a one-shot. This one says Volume 1. This is Sweet Room Escape. And I don't remember what this one's about, but I have a list of everything that comes out in the month that I want to pick up. And this one was written down on the list, and I don't really remember why it was on there, but I obviously like the sound of it. But yeah, it's a BL, and I should not be showing that page. So yeah, I didn't expect it to get right into that on the first page. Globetrotting businessman Haruto has achieved the optimal formula for work-life balance: work hard and party harder off hours. With a hookup in each city, Haruto thinks he has it made, but en route to France, the hotshot meets his match in the genteel, winsome Albert. From an invitation to drinks to the best sex ever in a luxury suite, it's as if fate itself brought them together. But now Haruto can't seem to escape that heavenly night and resume his carefree crafted, no strings attached game plan, especially when Albert seems to be plotting to capture Haruto's heart. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, and I'm probably doing it terribly wrong. But yeah, the description doesn't really ring any bells, but it sounds quite interesting. I must have put it on the list for a reason. So yeah, I'll definitely be reading it. Next is another BL. This one I do remember the description for. This is Play Me Softly this is a musical BL. I absolutely love Given, so I tend to pick up any musical BL that they bring out, including this one. Yeah, this first page of this one is actually safe to show, but are they in, like... I think it's I think they were friends, or a couple, in school, but then they broke up and now they've met again as adults. And they're gonna, like rekindle their romance and through music and stuff. Next was the one I'm super excited for, and that's The Missing O Volume 2. I absolutely loved Volume 1. This is a manhwa steamship title about a woman who's searching for the perfect orgasm after when she was in college, I think it was. She was saved at a nightclub by this guy, and they had very, very passionate sex, and she had the best orgasm of her life. And ever since, she hasn't been able to orgasm, and now she's searching for either that guy or someone else who can offer her the perfect orgasm. And it was very good, and it was definitely steamy. So yeah, definitely looking forward to reading this second volume and seeing how things go. And next in this pile is another manhwa. This is Bastard. This is a horror manhwa by the same creator as Sweet Home, which, like, this Netflix series. And it's about a sickly boy who is in high school, and he's often bullied for being weak, but he has a secret, and that's that he lives with his father, who is a serial killer. I like how the pages are kind of black. But I think that's because the edges of all the insides are black. But yeah, this one sounded interesting. I like horror. It's quite a thick bastard. Got some weight to it. So yeah, I'm interested to give this one a go. I wonder if this one does well, they would release Sweet Home physically, because I would be interested in checking that one out too. I haven't yet watched the Netflix series, but it is on my list. Yeah, this is quite heavy. It's like a brick. Next, and the last one in this pile is My Name is Shingo 3. This is sci-fi horror about a robot gaining sentience, but this is written in the 80s, and as of right now, nothing is very too sci-fi. By today's standard, it's all pretty normal, but I know the robot's going to continue to gain even more sentience as the series goes on, and it will get more into, like, a sci-fi territory. But yeah, for the time this was written in, it definitely would have been considered sci-fi. And I enjoyed the first two. So yeah, next we have another BL here. We have At 25 and Atasaka Volume 2. This is actors. I liked Volume 1. It's like 2 actors. And the cover art is always so nice on these. Putting it here. And this is the last BL for the box. This is Our Sweet One-Room Apartment. This is guys sharing an apartment in Hokkaido. I think their relationship is already established. But yeah, it seemed cute. It seemed quite cute. I think I've read something else by this author. I recognise the name, but I'm not sure. Next, I'm going to pull the box a little bit closer. Is My Girlfriend's Child Volume 7. I really love this series. It's like quite dramatic, and I enjoy that. I tend to enjoy things that are quite dramatic. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this one about teen pregnancy. There's only 2 volumes left of the main story after this one, and then Volume 10, which is side stories. I think the main side story is a prequel about how the main couple met for the first time. There's a few other side stories in there too, but they might be spoilery, so I won't really mention what them ones are about. But yeah, looking forward to this volume and the remainder. This is a love story with Yamada Khan at level 999. This is the first volume past where the anime ended. So yeah, looking forward to finding out what happens next, because I really liked the anime and I really liked the first 4 volumes too. It's a romance between 2 people who enjoy playing online games. These are like the little characters in the game. She is the one with cat ears and he is like this dopey looking elf dude. So yeah, it's a very good romance and I've been very enjoying it. And then we have the other words books depend on the beat counter. Volume 5, I know this has been out a while, but it's taken me quite a bit to actually get around to picking it up. As it is with most of these, because I'm like way behind on new releases and I've only just caught up with December. So at least I'm into this year now when it comes to new releases. I've got them all from last year. Yeah, this is an Isekai BL. Wait, I said that was the last BL in the box, and it wasn't. This is also a BL. For some reason I forgot. But yeah, this is also a BL. This is the last BL in the box. It's an Isekai BL with an accountant and a knight. Next is another one I'm very looking forward to reading. This is Agents of the Four Seasons Volume 2. I absolutely loved Volume 1. And I have high expectations for this volume, so I hope it's just as good as the first one. It has a super interesting concept where we have the agents of the 4 seasons, and their job is to, like, switch the seasons. So, like, the agent of winter makes it winter, and the agent of spring makes it spring, and so on and so on. But as a little girl, the agent of spring got kidnapped, and therefore spring disappeared from the world. So we just had the 3 seasons, but now spring has returned. Now that she is back. And in the first volume, she brought spring back to the world. And it's very intrigued by what happened in the past and why she was taken and the stuff that went on with the Agent of Winter as well. And I'm hoping to get some more answers in the second volume. But yeah, it was such a unique concept and I really loved it. And there's an anime going to come out at some point and I'm looking forward to that too. And I should probably read the light novel, because I do have the first one. Next is the 31st Consort. This is a fantasy shoujo series. Now, I picked this one up thinking it was going to be more of like an ancient China, ancient Japan sort of setting, but it's actually more of a European setting. So, I'm not that keen on like European like Regency settings. So I was a bit skeptical after learning that it was in that sort of setting, but I hope I still enjoy it. I hope it's still good, because like the sort of villainess or just shoujo fantasy villainess-esque sort of series, I don't tend to enjoy them. And I've tried series in this setting before, and even though I thought they sounded very good, they're just not for me. So yeah, I picked this up thinking this setting was going to be more of like an ancient China sort of setting, but it's not. It's like European Regency sort of setting, and yeah, so I hope I still enjoy this despite that. There is a few from that sort of like setting that I have liked, but there's not a lot. Most of them I end up just not being for me, so yeah. I probably should have researched this one a bit more before picking it up, because if I'd known it was a European setting, I probably wouldn't have picked it up. But yeah, I'm hoping I end up still enjoying it. Next is Volume 5 of Associate Professor Akira Tatsuki's Conjecture. This is a Josei mystery series, a bit like Usotoki Rhetoric, where the main guy can hear lies. But this one's a bit more supernatural. He's working with a professor of folklore studies and to like solve mysteries that possibly involve folklore. But I thought this was the final volume, but apparently it's not. Apparently Volume 6 is the final volume, but I don't think 6 is out in Japan yet, so it might be a while before we get that one, because I was looking and it does say to be continued at the bottom. Yeah, this is definitely not the final volume. Although a lot of places seem to be saying that it is. And the series is, like, when going on places like Anime Planet, it does say 6. But yeah, I think the next one's the last one. But yeah, this is a very good mystery series with some supernatural elements to it. Next, we have a, like, sort of sci-fi sort of drama series, which is Stardust Family. This takes place in the future, where Japan's birth rate has dropped very low, and as a child abuse and neglect is at an all-time high. So the government creates this scheme where parents need licenses to be able to have children, and in order to gain these licenses, they have to be assessed by like, they're called caregiver assessors or something like that. And these people who do these assessments are children, and they go to live with the couple for like a couple of weeks, and they judge whether they're worthy of being parents by misbehaving and acting up and basically being like a kid, and seeing what the parents' reactions are and what responses they have, and then they judge based on that whether they can have a license to have children or not. And we have this child who is the main character, and he's been assigned to this family, but he's like never been with a family quite like this one before. And that's the description. So yeah, this one sounded very good, and I'm very intrigued to give it a go. It's complete in this one omnibus. And this last pile is all Fizz stuff. So at the end of the 31, I think 32 is out as well, but I haven't grabbed that one yet. Yeah, continuing to enjoy Serif. I've been reading it for an awfully long time now. And this is it's not the latest volume, but 32 is. And then I picked up Firefly Wedding. Wanted to give this one a go because I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I'm unsure whether it'll be for me or not, because I really don't like yanderes, and I've heard that the main guy in this is a yandere, so I'm not sure whether I'll end up liking it or not, but I wanted to give it a go because everyone has been saying it's very good, and I can only but try, and if I don't like it, I just don't have to get any more. But yeah, it's like, is it historical? Where she's like got an incurable disease and she ends up getting kidnapped by an assassin, and to stop him killing her, she pretends to marry him or something like that. And it's something like that. But yeah, I said I wanted to give it a go. Whether I like it or not remains to be seen. Next is A Star Brighter Than the Sun. I got the first two because they were both out. This is a high school romance by the author of High School Debut, which is a series I did really enjoy. Of what I've read of it, I haven't finished it. But yeah, this is about a girl who used to be tall when she was in elementary school, and she was friends with this boy who was quite weak and small. And now they're in high school and he's grown and to be a lot bigger than her. So it's like a childhood friends to lovers romance series. And I do like this author. So yeah, I wanted to definitely give this one a go. Next, I'm just going to grab the rest of these. These are all Shoujo Beat series that I'm continuing on with. Sakura Saku 5. Like a Butterfly 9, Wolfgirl and Black Prince 10, and my special one 8. Yeah, I just tend to... I'm not up to date with any of these series, but I'm up to date as of January now. So this one I think finishes at 11 volumes. This one finishes at 16, so another 6 for this. This one finishes at 12, and I know this one is complete in English now. 12 has just come out recently. I've got 3 more of that one to go, like 3 more of this one, 6 more of that one. And Sakura Sakura, I think, finishes at 8, I want to say. So there's like another 3 of those as well. I think it's 8, I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, I'm just continuing on with those. And that is everything for this haul and the month of June. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you for my reading log possibly next week. It is July in like 2 days, 1 day. Tomorrow is the final day in June, so after tomorrow I would have read all my June reads, so yeah, it'll be sometime after that. Anyway, and yep, see you then, and bye bye.